So the Promise Ultra100 TX2 promises a transfer rate of 100 megabytes per second. Let's find out if this is true. In this video we will have a look at flashing the latest BIOS, I'll show you how to install the drivers, and we will run some benchmarks to see what this controller can do. To really max out the controller, we're using a compact flash card in a USB 3 adapter. It can do up to 160 megabytes per second. So let's download the latest driver and also the latest BIOS version. Click on Legacy Products on the Promise website, change family to Ultra. Over here also Ultra, and then under models select the TX2 Ultra100. Here we have the latest driver version, so we're gonna download that one. We also got manuals here to download, and here we've got the latest BIOS file, which we're gonna flash as well. Okay, here we can see the BIOS of the controller. I haven't got a hard drive connected, so that's why it takes a little bit of time, but we can already see it does have the latest BIOS version flashed already, but regardless, I'm gonna show you the process of flashing, just so you know what it's like. Okay, here we are in MS-DOS mode of Windows 98. The executable is PCI flash.exe, and we've got the latest BIOS version here, U100B15.bin. So let's run the executable, and we get two options. We can back up the existing BIOS, so let's do that. I'm gonna call it old BIOS.bin, and that's all done. And now we're gonna update the latest BIOS, option number 2. It's asking us for the file name, so that was U100B15.bin, and let's flash that BIOS. Off it goes. That's all done. We're gonna exit here, shut down the machine, and reboot. And here we are in Windows 98. It just detected that we inserted the Ultra100 controller. So we just have to install the drivers. So we just follow the prompts here, specify the location. I put the drivers on the C drive under Ultra100. Here are the drivers, and then Windows 98, press OK. Next, and that is now ready to install the drivers. Off we go. And I think we need to reboot our machine, and then we have a look in Device Manager and see that everything is installed correctly. Here we are in Device Manager, and under SCSI controllers we can now see the Ultra100 show up. So if we look at the driver, it's from 2003, and this is the latest version. So now it's time to hook up a hard drive and do some benchmarking. So I'm gonna shut it down, and I'm gonna use the compact flash card in an IDE to RCF adapter. The card can do up to 160 megabytes per second of reading, so it'll be plenty to see what this controller can do and really push it to its limits. Now, before we're gonna benchmark the PCI controller, I hooked up the compact flash card to the onboard IDE controller of the motherboard. It's a Pentium 4 motherboard with an SIS chipset, and here we got the results. So we're getting 89, 82, 86, 88, 87, high 80s, 40 megabytes per second. So that gives us a good starting point to compare what the Promise PCI controller can do. So here we got the results with the compact flash connected to the Ultra100 TX2 controller. A little bit slower across the board. We're getting up to 85 megabytes per second, and some of the bars are just not as high compared to the onboard IDE controller that the motherboard comes with. Now this could be because of the way the PCI bus has been implemented with the SIS chipset, so there might be a bit of variation, but still it's interesting that the speed is not quite up there compared to the onboard IDE controller. So what's the take on the Promise Ultra100 TX2? I reviewed the Ultra 66 model a while ago, so that makes for good comparison. It's faster, obviously, but it also supports larger drives beyond 128 megabytes. And it is compatible with the drives that didn't work with the Ultra 66. If you watched that video, a couple of the larger drives just wouldn't get detected. So I didn't have that issue. All the drives I tried were compatible with the Ultra100. So this controller can be handy if your onboard IDE controller is slower. For example, you might have a slot 1 motherboard. They usually max out at 33 megabytes per second. Or a socket 370 board, and they usually got around 66 megabytes per second. So in those cases, this controller will let you get more speed, but also use larger hard drives beyond 128 megabytes or whatever BIOS limitation your motherboard has. So I think this is a pretty cool controller to get, and if you find one on eBay for cheap, I would definitely pick one up. But what do you think? Leave your thoughts down below in the comments section. And that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon with another one.